brachioradialis on this side is positioned there. You can sometimes see a blood vessel and nerve along with this muscle. This concludes a review of the first 28 muscles. The purpose of this tape is to review muscles number 29 through 62. And the first group of muscles that we'll review are the muscles of the forearm. The muscles on the dorsal side are called the extensors. Starting here on the medial side of the forearm, the first muscle we will identify is the extensor carpi radialis longus. There were actually two muscles together, and these were separated when you dissected. The first one is the extensor carpi radialis longus. This muscle right here. Its origin is the humerus. It inserts on the metacarpals, and the action is to extend and abduct the wrist. Muscle number 30 is called the extensor carpi radialis brevis, which is the very next muscle, this muscle here. Then muscle 31, there are two, then they're called the extensor digitorums. This one is the extensor digitorum communis, and the next muscle is the extensor digitorum lateralis. The extensor digitorum's origin is the humerus. It inserts on the phalanges, and the action is to extend the fingers. Muscle 32, which is on the last muscle on the lateral side, is the extensor carpi ulnaris. Its origin is the humerus. It inserts on the metacarpals, and its action is to extend and adduct the wrist. If you separate the two extensor digitorums and look down deep, right on the bone, down closest to what would be the elbow, there's a muscle right on the bone, and it is called the supinator. Its origin is the humerus and the ulna. It inserts on the radius, and its action is to rotate the forearm laterally. Observing those same group of muscles on the other forearm, this is a muscle that we observed from the first tape. That's the brachioradialis. But the first muscle we will observe, muscle number 29, is the extensor carpi radialis longus. The next muscle is the extensor carpi radialis brevis. The next muscle is the extensor digitorum communis. The next muscle is the extensor digitorum lateralis. And then the last muscle on the lateral side is the extensor carpi ulnaris. And then separating the two extensor digitorums, look down on the bone, and that muscle is the supinator. Then turning the cat over so that we're now looking on the ventral side of the forearm. These muscles would be mainly flexors. Muscle 34, which is a triangular shaped muscle, is the pronator teres. Its origin is the humerus and the ulna. It inserts on the radius, and its action is to rotate the forearm medially. The next muscle, which would be right here, is the flexor carpi radialis. Its origin is the humerus. It inserts on the metacarpals, and its action is to flex and abduct the wrist. Then the next muscle, which is kind of a broad, flat muscle, is called the palmaris longus. Palmaris longus. Then underneath the palmaris longus, there is a deep muscle, and that is called the flexor digitorum profundus. Flexor digitorum profundus. Its origin is the ulna. It inserts on the phalanges, and its action is to flex the fingers. Then the last muscle on the lateral is called the flexor carpi ulnaris. Flexor carpi ulnaris. Its origin is the humerus and the ulna. It inserts on some of the carpals and the metacarpals, and its action is to flex and adduct the wrist. Observing these same muscles on the other forearm, starting again on the medial side, the triangular muscle is the pronator teres. The next muscle would be the flexor carpi radialis. Then the next muscle is the palmaris longus. Then underneath the palmaris longus, a deep muscle called the flexor digitorum profundus. And then the last muscle on the lateral side is the flexor carpi ulnaris. The next muscles we'll review are the muscles of the abdomen. Muscle 39 is called the external oblique. Then under the external oblique is the internal oblique. And then we can pull up the internal oblique, and we can see some muscles under that, the third layer. And these are called the transverse abdominis. In the center of the abdomen, there are two bands of muscle running along the abdomen. These are called the rectus abdominis. There's a band of muscles here and a band of muscles there. Then on the other side, this outside muscle is the external oblique. The muscle underneath is the internal oblique. And then the third layer under that would be the transverse abdominis. The next group of muscles are the muscles of the hip. Muscle 43 is the gluteus medius. Gluteus medius. Its origin is the ilium. It inserts on the femur, and its action is to abduct and rotate the thigh medially. Muscle 44, which is this muscle here, is the gluteus maximus. Its origin is the ilium and lower spine. It inserts on the femur, and its action is to extend the leg at the hip. Muscle 45, which is this muscle, is the caudofemoralis. Those group of muscles on the other side are the gluteus medius, the gluteus maximus, and the caudofemoralis. Muscle 46 is a large muscle. This is the biceps femoris that extends all the way down, and the biceps femoris on the other side. Its origin is the ischium and the femur. It inserts on the tibia and the fibula, and its actions are to flex the leg and extend the thigh.